is ready for a show. Tune in to Kids Radio. The songs that you hear will help your music sense to grow. Tune in to Kids Radio and start your hands to clapping or tap your little toe. Tune in to Kids Radio and listen, we're ready to go.
Okay, Mr. Invento, I rounded up Theodore and Daphne just like you asked me to do. Now, what's so important?
Very well. Last night, a meteor landed in my backyard.
A meteor?
Right. Now, since I am naturally curious, I dug it up and cracked it open. And inside, I found this.
That is one of the ugliest things I've ever seen. Did you expect me to admire that thing?
Oh, but you don't understand. Theodore, do you remember your little friend from the planet of Chicago?
You mean IT?
Wow! You mean that my little buddy IT sent us this thing inside a meteor?
It looks like some sort of statue with weird eyes, a nose, and a mouth.
It is a message delivery system, yeah. Listen to the recorded message when I push the nose of this thing. Okay, now let me get it up here just right.
Greetings to my good friends on Earth.
Yeah.
ID is very happy to be back on his planet of Chicago, but need your help once again. My whole planet's survival depends on you using Mr. Invento's teleporter booth to come to planet of Chicago and helping us solve a problem. This is ID saying John and out. Oh boy, I get to go see IT again. I've missed him a lot.
Wait a minute. What is this teleporter booth we're supposed to travel to the planet of Chicago in?
Oh, it is right here. It works on peanut butter, and we can all go right now.
What? But that's just a flippin' phone booth.
Oh, well, that is what it appears to be. But I have the power system hooked right into the touch-tone dialing board of the phone. Yeah, see? So that we can just dial up the coordinates of where we wish to go on the phone. It is simple, yeah?
Crazy. But IT needs our help, so we better get moving. Do you have plenty of peanut butter loaded in the booth for fuel?
Yeah, extra crunchy for lots of zip. Yeah.
I don't believe it. I'm tearing off into outer space in a phone booth powered by peanut butter and flown by Mr. Invento. I must be space crazy, but I've never seen the planet Chicago, so move over.
Started all this race for space, this yen to fly to Mars. Why has the whole world joined the race to Venus and the stars? Why should mankind want to fly to Jupiter so far? What I'd like to know is why don't we stay where we are? If man is looking for the way to happiness apart, he better learn this very day to live right where we are. Oh, and I'd like to take a trip and through the heavens roam. I'd like to fly a rocket ship, but not too far from home. If man is looking for the way to happiness apart, he better learn this very day to live right where we are. Oh, and I'd like to take a trip and through the heavens roam. I'd like to fly a rocket ship, but not too far from home.
We'll return for more Kids Radio Show after this.
Ready for liftoff. Countdown. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Here we go. Blast off. All systems go. Stage 1. Rocket fire. Stage 2. Rocket fire. Stage 3. Ready, go. Goodbye, Earth. Pluto, hello. Station 1.
All is clear.
Station 2.
Looks good here.
Station 3.
A-okay.
Station 4.
We're on our way.
Come in, Lunar 1. Come in, Lunar 2. Come in, Lunar 3. Something's coming through.
What is it?
Do you have a clue?
Well, we are now orbiting the Earth in my teleporter booth, and we are about ready to make a space jump to the planet of Chicago to help IT out of his problem.
That was a rocky and rough departure, if you ask me. We bounced around in there like beans.
Oh, there is nothing to worry about. Unless it is a time warp oscillator I accidentally hit with my hand when we took off.
Why do you say that?
Well, I will check it out by monitoring what is happening back on Earth. Just to be safe, you know. Here, let me tune in the monitor and see what is playing, right now. Oh, here it comes now. I can hear it.
Yabba-dabba-doo!
Uh-oh.
Music, march to music.
Hey, it sounds like you did screw something up on the time warp, if that's what's happening on Earth, Mr. Invento.
I knew this blundering twit would get things fouled up.
Oh, now everyone just settle down. I will fix it. I will set the time coordinates back to our time when we make our space jump to the planet Chicago. Ready? Here we go! And now we are coming into the planet of Chicago, dead ahead.
Dead is right if you don't slow this booth down. We seem to be moving in too fast.
Yeah, we're starting to wobble.
Put the brakes on, you twit!
And now I see the landing port area on the surface. I think I can even see little creatures that look like IT around it.
Yeah, and they're all running away as fast as they can.
Look out, we're gonna crash.
Well, any landing you can walk away from is a good one, yeah?
You may not be able to walk when I get through with you.
IT has missed his Earth friends. Welcome to my planet.
IT, how are you?
Wow, IT. I thought I might never see you again.
Really? We never thought we'd see you again.
Hello, Theodore. I was hoping you would come.
He's a funny-looking bounder, isn't he? In fact, they all look wrinkled up like little old men with big eyes.
IT, what is this problem that you needed fixed, eh?
Yeah, IT, what's the problem?
I have told my people that you are famous inventor in your part of the galaxy, and that you could come up with a solution to our problem.
That's pretty
Well, if anyone can do it, it is me. Yeah.
Oh, brother.
Hello. Would everybody say hello back, please? An inventor who creates things needs help. Thank you. Here we go. Hello. You ask what I do. Well, I do what doesn't, isn't, and hasn't. Yet I'm an inventor, a creator of things. Well, I do what doesn't, isn't, and hasn't. Yet, has anybody ever talked on a telephone? Yes? Good. Oh, well, how do you think that telephone got to be? It was invented. It didn't grow on a tree. And before it wasn't, you see. Hello. You ask what I do? Well, I do what doesn't, isn't, and hasn't. Yet I'm an inventor, a creator of things. And I do what doesn't, isn't, and hasn't. Yet. Has anybody ever turned on a light Yes? Good. Well, how do you think the light got to be? It was invented. Yeah, it didn't grow on a tree. And before it wasn't, you see. Hello. You ask what I do? I'll tell you. I do what doesn't, isn't, and hasn't. Yet I'm an inventor, a creator of things. And I do what doesn't, isn't, and hasn't. Yet. Has anyone ever been for a ride in a car? Yes? Good. Well, how do you think that car got to be? It was invented. It didn't grow on a tree. And before it wasn't, you see. Hello. You ask what I do. Well, I do what doesn't, isn't, and hasn't. Yet I'm an inventor, a creator of things. I do what doesn't, isn't, and hasn't. Yet.
So, let's hear what you want us to do, IT.
Yes, tell us, IT.
My species is a peaceful one. We learned long ago that war was an ancient concept that we had to leave behind us if we wanted to live in harmony with the universe. We have been successful in peace for thousands of years.
I wish I could say the same thing about the human species.
Yeah, we haven't been getting along among ourselves too well on the planet Earth, IT.
Not at all.
But you know something about a thing called diplomacy. How to talk your way around having wars sometimes.
Only if we're lucky.
We need you to be our diplomats and try to talk to the Niggly.
The Niggly?
The Niggly? What is that?
Yeah, what's a Niggly?
He is a creature that is the last of his kind. He lives in the jungle of Sulfur.
Well, if this is only one creature and he lives all by himself in a jungle, why is he such a threat to you and your people?
Because at night, when our two suns have set, we sleep.
Yeah, okay.
So what is the problem in getting a little shut-eye, huh?
Yeah, what's the problem?
We are afraid to sleep any longer. A creature comes in our dreams and terrorizes all of us. We call it the Tyrannosaurus Nix.
The Tyrannosaurus Rex.
Wow, well, even I have a nightmare every once in a while, IT.
Well, sure, that's normal.
But not like this one, Theodore. This nightmare can eat you alive if it catches you in the dream. Some of my people have disappeared that way.
But what does the Niggly have to do with all of this?
He is the one that sends the creature to our dreams each night. The Nigglies are well known to have this power. We call it biggling. You must find the Niggly and convince him to stop doing this to us. We must prevent the Niggly from biggling.
Now let me get this straight. You want us to travel to some forest called Sufa on this planet called Chicago?
Right.
Then you want us to try talking sense to some creature called a Niggly who can biggle and send a monster called a Tyrannosaurus Nix after us and rip us to shreds? Is that right?
Yes, you are right.
You're bonkers, you are.
Daphne, you've got to help them. They need us.
Well, how do we find this Niggly?
I will take you to the forest of Sulfur myself.
I'll go if you promise that someone besides Invento will drive us there.
Once upon a story in a time gone by, a niggly biggled and a gerbil wondered why. The gerbil decided to ask everyone he knew. The first one he met was a Norkel in blue. Well, the gerbil, he circled right up to the Norkel. Hey there, Norkel, did you happen to see just what happened when the niggly biggled? Nork, nork, said the Norkel, and he ran away. The derble serbled on to the Shalafesh's hesher. High on a kesh in the mountains far away, the shilly Sally Shalafesh was sitting in his hesher, making fresh mesh in his fresher mesh hesher. Well, the derble, he serbled right up to the kesh. Hey, Shalafesh, did you happen to see just what happened when the niggly big old hesh hesh said the Shalafesh and ran away? The derble serbled on to the coofer super doofer, hanging from a poof in the forest of Soofer. The rangy mangy coofer was roofing his doofer. A super duper roofer was the coofer. Well, the derble, he serbled right up to the coofer. Hey, super coofer, did you happen to see just what happened when the niggly big old oof oof said the coofer and he ran away? Nork, nork, said the norkle. Hesh, hesh, said the Shalafesh. Oof, oof, said the coofer and they ran away.
Ooh, this is one very odd forest. All of the plants have been orange-colored and the water here is yellow.
And look at the fire, Mr. Invento. When we burn the wood, the flames are green.
We will wait here at this spot in the forest of Super through the night. When the suns rise in the morning, we can keep looking for the Niggly.
Yeah.
Well, we're beginning to get a little low on that super wood to throw on the fire. Well, let's all go get some more.
That's a good idea, Theodore. We certainly don't want to go to sleep, where we might be visited by the Tyrannosaurus Nix.
Yeah, well, why don't all of you stay together and gather up the wood? Yeah, I will stay here by the fire and guard the camp, yeah.
And stay nice and cozy while we tramp around in the dark, eh?
Oh, come on, IT. You lead the way and we'll follow you.
Yeah, let's go, IT.
There they go into that vile-looking forest. Well, these green flames on the fire are so relaxing. I think I will just rest my eyes a little bit. There could be no harm in just closing the eyelids for a little. Where did all of this mist and fog come from? I didn't notice that earlier. Well, it must be the strange planet of Chicago. Oh, now I see, hey, 2 red fireflies coming out of the fog. Oh, boy, they are flying high and right beside each other. They look almost like they could be eyes on some sort of giant creature. Oh, that was a strange sound for fireflies to make. Oh, wait a minute. Now I see teeth. Oh, large, dripping, sharp teeth. Oh, I better go and warn everyone that this is a big mama coming out our way. Oh, Lieber. I can't get out of this sleeping bag. Oh, help, somebody. Oh, hello there. My, you are a big boy, aren't you? You wouldn't by any chance be a Tyrannosaurus Nix sent to us by the Niggly, would you? Yeah. Oh, that is what I was afraid of. Oh, look, the others will be here in a moment. I will introduce you to all of them. What is your name, eh? Why don't you tell us your name?
I love to munch on squirrels. Sometimes I eat little boys and sometimes little girls. I have 4 arms as big as trees. I have 4 ankles too. And monsters that are meaner are extremely few. But no one screams when I come round. No one hides under their beds. They think that I'm a milksop, 'cause my name is Fred. I'm taller than a condominium.
on my shoulders. My voices are strong and loud. I eat grandmothers for breakfast, for lunch. I munch on your favorite aunt. I use rattlesnakes for shoelaces and circus tents for underpants. No one screams when I come round. No one hides under their bed. They think that I'm a milksop, 'cause my name is Fred. I went down to the courthouse to have my name changed, you see, but I set the building on fire accidentally when I sneezed. Now you might giggle, you might laugh, you might think it's a joke, but try to be a monster with a name like Fred and see who runs when you blow smoke. 'Cause no one screams when I come round, no one hides under their bed. They think that I'm a milksop, 'cause my name is Fred.
We'll return for more Kids Radio Show in a moment.
Well, I always thought that cows were prettier in a field than on my plate at supper being served as the meal. And I never did like hamburger, I never did like steak. I preferred chickens cackling and fried, cooked, or baked. Oh, I stopped eating animals and I'm glad I finally did. But I get my protein 'cause I eat kids. But it used to be a problem just eating rice and beans, and I think you probably know exactly what I mean. And I never really knew if I was eating all I should, but I don't have that problem now, and it feels pretty good. Oh, I stopped eating animals and I'm glad I finally did. But I get my protein 'cause I eat kids. So it's goodbye liver, goodbye roast beef. Hello Tommy, Michael and Debbie. I don't eat chickens and I don't eat cows. Yeah, I don't eat animals, I eat children now. Oh, I stopped eating animals and I'm glad I finally did. But I get my protein 'cause I eat kids.
Miss Carolyn, Daphne, Theodore, and Mr. Invento have traveled to the faraway planet of Chicago in Mr. Invento's teleporter booth in order to help their little friend, IT, solve a deadly problem. A nearly extinct creature called a Niggly is waging war on IT's people by sending a beast called a Tyrannosaurus Nix to devour them in their dreams whenever they try to sleep. This is making everyone cranky, since nobody is too anxious to get any sleep if it means being eaten by a monster. Our brave group of Earthlings were traveling with IT to the forest of Super, where the last Niggly hides out. However, Mr. Invento fell asleep by the fire that night when the others went to get more wood. He then received a visit from the horrible Tyrannosaurus Nix in his dreams. The others returned to the fire to find him screaming in his sleep.
Wake up, Mr. Invento, wake up. You're having a bad nightmare, wake up.
What? Where am I? What happened?
You went to sleep, you twit. You were warned to stay awake or something like this would happen.
Oh, I met him. I saw him. It was awful. He was green and scaly with big teeth the size of sabers. Oh, and he had little red beady eyes that glowed. And his name was Fred.
What? You met someone named Fred in your nightmare?
Wow, you are weird, Mr. Invento.
He's a flippin' loony, that's what he is.
Nine, I think that it was the Tyrannosaurus Rex. Yes, there is a way we can find out with a little experiment.
A little experiment?
Yeah, everyone except IT lay down here by the fire and close your eyes. We will see what you think for yourselves, okay?
But what if it is Tyrannosaurus Rex? He could tear us all to shreds. Is it safe?
Nine, it is perfectly safe. However, we aren't, unless IT here will stay awake and wake us up if anyone starts screaming. Okay? All right, everyone, shut your eyes and drift off to dreamland now. Don't let the bed bugs bite.
You mean don't let the Tyrannosaurus Rex bite?
Just relax and let's see if he comes again.
Whoa, this is strange. Look at all the fog.
Yeah, but look at what is coming out of it.
It's a bloomin' giant lizard!
Wow, with big claws and teeth. Oh, he's opening his mouth and he's coming at us. Run!
Wait! He seems to be saying something. Listen.
You've heard about some dinosaurs who devour little boys and try to eat choice little girls, a habit which annoys. But I'm a dinosaur, prehistoric through and through, and I'm here to swear to anyone that this is not the truth. We're blamed for things so ghastly, these things we do not do. You simply must believe us when we say we won't eat you. We live on nuts and berries. We haven't touched a hair on any kid that's come our way. There's no need to beware. We're taking ads in newspapers and we're going on TV. There were abuses in the past, but the past is all BC. We've got a firm in New York that's managing our campaign. We'll accept the responsibility, but we will not take the blame. Our image is respectable. We've even been seen in prayer. We've trimmed our toenails, filed our teeth, and we've even combed our hair. I hope that you will realize we're quite a harmless bunch. And maybe you can join us and come over soon for lunch.
Wake up, my friends, wake up.
Oh, that
Wake
was
up.
terrible. It was the Tyrannosaurus Rex.
Oh, yeah, and we must be very close to the hiding place of the Niggly also.
And so you are, but I will come to you and therefore save us all a lot of trouble.
Blimey, that little Twitter is even a bit smaller than IT.
Yeah, you are a little fellow to have such a big partner like the Tyrannosaurus Rex.
My ultimate weapon to wipe the vermin off my planet. And now you aliens come here as their weapon. Well, it won't work because Fred is too powerful for anyone to stop.
Hold it for a moment. We're not weapons, and we're not here to wage war. We're here to prevent it. Now come over here by the fire so we can all talk with each other, and nobody will harm anybody.
I could pass time. You all have to go to sleep eventually, and when you do, that's when Fred will come to finish all of you.
He's a cheeky devil, isn't he?
Yeah, hey, Mr. Niggly, what makes you so mean that you would want to strike at IT and all of his people like that, huh?
Why, I thought that would be obvious. They aren't Nigglies. They don't think like Nigglies. They don't walk like Nigglies. They don't even eat food like Nigglies.
Oh, that is the reason you are waging a war on them?
I don't have to have a very good reason. I have a big weapon, so I can use it. I can show everyone how strong I am. It makes me feel good.
That sort of behavior can be very dangerous for everyone. Why, it can even backfire and you can end up destroying yourself, Mr. Niggly. Listen, since this is a campfire, let's practice an old Earth custom of sitting around and telling stories.
I have work to do and wars to wage.
I have a story, Aunt Carolyn.
Oh, good.
This is one called When Susie Sneezed. Yeah, I think it applies to what's happening here on the planet of Chicago.
friend of mine came by last night and said, come on out and join in the fight between Robert and Richard and Susan and Jimmy, 'cause they just started beating up Timmy. 'Cause Timmy hit Billy, who punched out Steve, when Steve hit Laura after Jack and Johnny hit Tommy, and Richard hit Emily, who accidentally pushed Debbie when Susie sneezed. It sounded pretty strange what he wanted me to do, 'cause I didn't even know Richard or Sue. I said, that's crazy, that's nuts, to fight someone who doesn't know us. Not at all, he said, happens all the time. In fact, we can even get grenades and mines. Yeah, these things, they have happened before, except when grown-ups do it, they call it war. He started talking about tanks and guns and how I should go out and join in the fun. He said, just go and beat up Jim, besides Jim hit me after I hit him. When Timmy hit Billy, who punched out Steve, when Steve hit Laura after Jack and Johnny hit Tommy, and Richard hit Emily, who accidentally pushed Debbie when Susie sneezed. So I said, I wish you all would stop your groaning, stop cussing and cranking and shucking and moaning. I wonder what would happen if you tell Jimmy you're sorry you hit him and that he hit Timmy. Maybe Timmy would go and shake Billy's hand, and hopefully someday they'll understand. 'Cause what's gonna happen if you don't do that will be Johnny and Frank are gonna wanna get you back. Then you and Timmy will go beat up Bill, who'll turn around tomorrow and wanna kill you and him and Stephen and Johnny and Jack, and one day one of you will try and get him back, because Timmy hit Billy, who punched out Steve, when Steve hit Laura after Jack and Johnny hit Tommy, and Richard hit Emily, who accidentally pushed Debbie when Susie sneezed. Well, he thought that over for a moment or two, and then he said, I bet I can beat up you. I said, no you can't, 'cause I won't fight. And I turned around and smiled and said good night. Well, I heard that he left and punched Paul in the mouth, who turned right around and knocked him down. So when he got up, he started fighting with Sue. Now I'm the only one left to sing this song to you. 'Cause Timmy hit Billy, who punched out Steve, when Steve hit Laura after Jack and Johnny hit Tommy, and Richard hit Emily, who accidentally pushed Debbie when Susie sneezed.
That is a good story.
Yeah, but why are you crying so much?
Yeah, why are you crying?
Because that story is very close to what happened to his own species, the rest of the Nigglies. They are all extinct now, except for this one.
But how could such a thing happen?
We did it to ourselves. We all had the power to send dream monsters after each other during the night when we slept.
Oh my.
So we would argue during the day with each other. That night we would send in the monsters to each other's dreams to devour anybody who had disagreed with us that day.
Oh, that's a horrible thing.
It was an effective weapon, and because we possessed it, we each wanted to use it. There used to be thousands of us living in this forest. Now there is only me left.
Oh, you poor Nigglies. You killed off your own species. But surely you see how foolish that was. Why would you want to continue such a senseless practice by waging war on IT and his species?
Because that's what it is to be a Niggly. It would be backwards for me to act any differently. I can't turn the habits of hundreds of years upside down and stop.
Blimey, of course you can. I had a friend named Jake that did that very thing. He was all the happier because he did it, too.
I had a friend named Jake. He was a happy kid, though everyone thought he was crazy, though, for doing what he did. 'Cause Jakey liked to travel, oh, he loved to walk around. But Jake didn't like convention, so he walked upside down. He got around okay, I guess, though. He talk kinda slow. And when he'd see me coming, he'd just wave his toe. At school it was a problem, yeah, he never would stay put. And when other kids raised their hands, old Jake would raise his foot. Now Jakey had an uncle who had a PhD, who said, "This boy is crazy, as crazy as can be." But you know, Jake was happy though, and as crazy as that sounds, he'd always say that the normal way is upside down. 'Cause Jake thought wars were stupid, and he didn't like to see folks frown. Besides an angry face is a smile when you're standing upside down. Well, they took him to a doctor, and they gave him lots of tests. They asked him lots of questions, would not let him rest. Finally he agreed to change and got up from his seat. And Jake, he just flipped right up and landed on his feet. His mother clapped and his daddy smiled, and the doctor jumped for joy. And Grandma started crying, saying, "My, that's my boy." Jake indeed had come around. He finally had been cured. The best success that I've had yet, the doctor assured. But then something happened when he saw things right side up. And in about 2 hours, Jake had had enough. Everywhere people hated, and it was hard to find a friend. So Jakey did a turnabout and is upside down again. He likes things much better this way, even if it is hard to get around. But an angry face is still a smile when you're standing upside down. He still thinks wars are stupid, and he never could learn to hate. And I'd have to say the only one I know right side up is Jake. And now that he is happy again, as crazy as this sounds, I'd have to say that the normal way is upside down.
Well, I have reloaded the teleporter booth with peanut butter. We are ready to return now to Earth. Good luck in your new home here with IT and his people, Mr. Niggly.
Thank you all for coming. I could never have banished that beast inside of me without some help.
We all have an angry beast like that, Mr. Niggly. We just have to work to keep it buried all the time.
Come on, everyone! Get the board!
I'm not anxious to have you fly us back, Mr. Invento. Let Miss Carolyn have the controls.
IT will miss his friends. We all thank you for helping us.
Well, we were glad to help, IT.
Yeah, who knows? We may need you to help us on Earth sooner than you think, IT. We'll let you know. Oh, be thinking of me. Yeah.
When all of you look up at the stars, think of us here and we will do the same. That way we'll reach each other.
return for the conclusion of Kids' radio show after this.
Boy, was I ever glad to get back on good old Mother Earth. But I was glad we could help IT solve his problem. Now if we could only do the same thing here.
AIDS, tune in to Kids Radio. Tune in to Kids Radio. Tune in to Kids Radio.
All Kids Radio Show episodes are written by Kel Pickens and co-produced by Kel Pickens and Carolyn Meyer. The Niggly was played by Lance Foster. Till next week, bye!